So go ahead and tell me then, what are your goals for this session?
So my goals are to have some guidance with decluttering or making decisions about sentimental items, and also like practical items. Like I'm looking at one box of things I have, and there's like a bunch of sticky notes in them. Unused sticky notes that are pretty colors, but they just sit there. And I always say to myself, oh, like keep them, you'll use them eventually. But things like that, my kind of practical and emotional sides sometimes seem to conflict.
Okay, great. And you have a little collection of things there gathered on your bed or
I've
some
got
surface?
This on my floor, my yoga mat set up.
Okay.
I'll just turn the computer and show you what I've got. So you can see all my boxes.
Yeah.
But all the way on the side here, I've got my paper files and some envelopes of like awards I got like in school that I think I'm ready to let go.
Okay.
And next in line, this is kind of my box of practical items.
Okay.
You can see the Post-its in there.
Right.
And below that, where is it? There, jewelry. There's a little box of jewelry there. That's kind of sentimental stuff as well that I don't wear often.
Okay.
And then over here, I've got just a wooden box of more sentimental. Honestly, Pam, I don't even know what's in there.
Okay. All right. Well,
and some photos too.
Okay. And of the things that you've just shown me, what seems the hardest to tackle on your own?
I think the hardest is going to be the jewelry and that box of childhood items that I'm not sure what they are.
Okay. Why don't we start with the box of childhood items if that works for you?
Yeah, it would be so great to go through this stuff with a guide.
Okay.
So like the first thing that is on the top is this little doll. I think my grandmother gave it to me, and I've just held on to it all these years. But it's one of these things, honestly, this box has been in my basement since I moved into this house 3 years ago. And I haven't thought of this doll since. And then as soon as I opened the box, I remembered it. And now, like, what do I do with you?
Well, how does the doll make you feel? How do you feel when you look at the doll?
It makes me think of my grandmother, which is lovely. But otherwise, like, I don't feel a whole lot. I mean, I think it's cute, but I don't feel the urge. Like, I don't think it's something I'd want to look at often.
Right. It's not something you'd want to display.
No, I don't think so.
So you can know that your grandmother loved you and appreciate that she gave you this gift, and feel okay about letting someone who would really smile every time they saw it or played with it.
Yeah, I mean, it really is for a child, and I can imagine a child really enjoying having a small doll that can fit in like a backpack or something that might be, they might get more joy out of it than I.
Okay.
So
you've made some containers of some sort.
Yeah, let me show you. They're not very pretty, but over here on the floor, I've got some bags.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna designate one of these bags, this canvas bag, as my donate bag.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll put the doll in here. All right. Next in line, I've got graduation tassels.
Okay.
I honestly don't care about these at all.
All right. Well, they can just go right into the donate bag.
Yeah. I'm just going to let those go.
Okay.
I have in here a teacup.
Okay.
This is something, I don't know where I would display it, but I do want to hold on to it because my grandmother gave me this set, and then I dropped the box, and every single one but this one smashed.
And it's so small that it'll be easy to display.
And it's pretty. And I think it was hers when she was a child. So this one is important. I want to keep this one. Here's another graduation tassel. Goodbye. All right. Now I've got this. It's pretty container. I don't know where I got the container. And inside is a whole bunch of who knows what.
Doodahs.
So Yeah, I've got a clothespin doll I made with my cousin. I'm ready to let that go.
Okay.
Um, I've got this. So this necklace I've had since I was a kid, and it reminds me of my grandfather.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna wear it,
Uh-huh.
but this is where I get stuck with jewelry all the time, Pam, is I think to myself, oh, like if I have kids or nieces or nephews, or I do have a goddaughter, like I could give this to them. Maybe I mean, I think I would, but it just creates a situation where I have like a container of to be given away jewelry over the next however many years.
Right. Right. Well, it's a very small thing, and if the significance, if one of the reasons that you would like to give that particular necklace to someone else in your life later on, rather than a necklace you picked up at the thrift store, is because it reminds you of your grandfather, you said?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Then, certainly it would be okay to keep um, the whoever you're giving it to. It may or may not have that significance.
Right.
So, we assign significance to things, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's small enough that I would say if you'd like to keep it for now, it's not going to hurt anything.
That's kind of how I feel. Like I'm not quite ready to let it go.
Yeah.
And it's not, yeah, like you said, it's not like it's taking up a ton of space.
Yeah.
Um, this is a little glass angel from my other grandfather.
Uh-huh.
I think I might want to keep this and actually hang it in a window.
Okay.
It's pretty and you can see the sunlight through it. Looks nice.
That sounds good.
Here's a bead. I don't know why I have this.
Okay, so it sounds like you're going to let that one go.
Yes.
Just a word about the objects that belong to your ancestors. I think it might be fun when you get to your new home to, perhaps create a little special altar or a place to honor those people.
Yeah, I do have, a vision of having some sort of cabinet or something where I can put things out that remind me of people who are important. I like that idea a lot. This could be a good stopping point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have a clear sense of how to move forward with the letters that remain, the photos that I sorted into piles, and now I want to pick some choices out of each pile. And yeah, I know I've got some action steps. I need to take some things to my parents. Looking around, I need to talk to my friend about sending some things to her girls. Some things to add to the Goodwill pile, which is already established since we're moving. We've got quite a Goodwill pile going.
Yeah.
And other things that I'm just going to pack and take with me. And maybe, in a year from now, I'll be ready to let those go. But for now, they still feel like I want to hang on to them.
Well, I think, if you're anything like me, you'll find that once you get to your new location, suddenly your perspective changes and you're like, why did I bring this? But that's okay, because you don't know what your perspective is going to be when you get to your new place. You can't time travel yourself to that time and place and know ahead. So you just, take what feels right in the moment. And, there's trash cans and thrift stores where you're going as well.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because my thinking was like, I was hoping to do like all the purging before I moved. I thought, oh, this will be so smart of me to like do everything before I move. But you're right. I keep packing things and then realizing I don't really need them, or, once I don't know what my new home is going to look like. It might be much smaller or with less storage, or, circumstances might change, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, you also don't want to get yourself so exhausted from this process that you don't have the energy to do whatever other things you need to do before you leave and for your travel time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always other opportunities.
Yeah. Well, thank you. This was so helpful, and it was really nice to have someone, a buddy to do this with, someone to ask the right questions and help me think through these decisions.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
And I'd love to hear, how it goes. I'd love to hear how things are going and keep me in the loop.
I will do that.
All right. Thanks so much, Eva.
Thanks, Pam.